Welcome to the show. My name is Lucia Dragos.
Hi, everyone. I am Nurian Omar.
And I'm John Collins. Hi.
And today's episode is Senior Centers Cope with COVID. We have three amazing guests with us today from two organizations. One is Kew Gardens Community Center at Queens Community Houses. And we have two members of India Home. So I'll let them introduce themselves briefly. But before that, just to let you know, from 3 until 3:28, we're live on Facebook and our channels. So if you have any questions, just go to facebook.com/Queens Public Television. You can post your questions to our guests and they will respond to you right after 2:15 to 20. So let's just start with Raquel. Raquel, can you introduce briefly yourself, your title, your organization?
Sure. My name is Rachel Epstein. I've had the pleasure of being the director for 8 years at Kew Gardens Community Center, which is one of 5 senior centers under Queens Community House in Forest Hills.
Sylvia?
Thank you very much, Lucia, for inviting us. My name is Sylvia Sigdar. I'm the program director at India Home. And India Home serves the South Asian and Indo-Caribbean seniors in Queens. And we do have 4 different senior centers in Queens. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sharanya Pillai. I'm Deputy Director also at India Home, and we also do partner with the Queens Community House, and we're really happy to have this conversation.
Raquel, let's begin with you. Could you tell us a little bit about the mission of your organization, perhaps its history, how it started and grew to and developed?
Okay, I'm happy to do that. Well, the Queens Community House was formerly Forest Hills Community House, and it changed its name at some point. It's been around for many years. I don't have the exact number, but the mission of the organization, Queens Community House, is to provide individuals and their families with the tools to enrich their lives and build healthy, inclusive communities. So it's run on the house. I'm losing my, on the. All right, anyway, it doesn't matter. They provide services for children, families, adults, seniors, and it is offering services to all ages and helping people to remain independent in the community. We have a NORC, Natural Occurring Retirement Community. We have 5 senior centers in Forest Hills, Pominock, Kew Gardens, Regal Park, and I'm missing one, but there are 5 centers, and they provide services for the people who live in those neighborhoods. We do offer Meals on Wheels through case management. So if someone becomes homebound for whatever reason, we refer them to the case management department at Queens Community House, and they provide the meals and other services, case assistance, whatever they may need. And also we do offer some social services on site. We can help them apply for benefits, such as SCREE or food stamps, Medicare Savings Program, whatever they need help with. And if they need more ongoing help, then we refer them for case management.
All right, we'll be coming back to discuss the particular services individually later in the program. Let's switch to Sylvia. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the history and the development of India Home and its mission.
So India Home's mission is provide cultural competent services to the seniors. And we started basically in 2007. How it started, it definitely needs to go with a personal story, because our executive director and two other board members had similar stories, like in their family, like their parent who faced dementia, Alzheimer's disease initially, and they really didn't have any cultural competence senior center services here in New York. So they had discussed like what they can do, like what they have faced. So they wanted to do something for the seniors who need cultural competence services, which was missing in this city. So from a living room discussion, it started, and they decided to open a senior center program. And initially, we really didn't have any senior center at the time. So our board of the board of directors and the executive directors, they basically partnered with other senior center programs, like what we are doing currently with the Queens Community House in the Kew Gardens. So initially, we had partnered with different temples, SNAP centers, and other organizations. And then we started like once a week programs in the different centers. And we had like several services that we provided. And then in 2008, officially, we started our program. And last year we had, not last year, in 2019, we celebrated our 10 years. And now we do have like 4 different senior centers, one in Jamaica, one in Kew Gardens with Queens Community House, and one in Sunnyside Community Services that in Sunnyside. The 4th one, which one we supposed to start it in March in Ozone Park, but at the time the pandemic hits. So like currently we have 3 centers, like the 4th one, we are like still offering the services virtually. So that's how we started our program.
Sharanya, what kinds of services were typical of a senior center before COVID?
Yeah, so this a main component of this is really like a place to create social cohesion, a place of gathering in person. So that was what we provided, the social element of having recreational activities that were culturally relevant. So, the cultural activities, the practices that are going to resonate with these seniors, and also bringing back memories from back home and being able to share that with their peers. So at these centers, we would provide meals, which is a big part of what we do, culturally competent meals. But in addition to that, we would do recreational activities, arts and crafts programs, and also a big part of our services is also making sure that we bridge that gap in knowledge oftentimes that can happen with recently arrived immigrants with low English proficiency. So we provide information to them in language, health lectures, nutrition lectures, civic engagement lectures, ESL classes. So we really just provide a full round of programs at our senior centers. And this was, before the pandemic, and we've pivoted now to continue to do that.
Great, that's actually phenomenal. How have you guys switched your services due to COVID? Did you guys go more online, and how was that process for?
Can I just interject, because I don't think I talked about our Kew Gardens Community Center activities. First of all, the word I was looking for is settlement house. The Queens Community House it takes its motto from the settlement house, where you provide services from cradle until the end of life. And we also had a tremendous amount of activities that were run all by volunteers, because we didn't get funding for the classes, and our own members were teaching classes. We had exercise. We had and we had on Thursdays with India Home was our most popular day. So I just want to mention that, because we would have lunch, vegetarian Indian food, and we would get between 60 and 70 people every Thursday. The yoga class was, sometimes we just didn't have room for everyone in the yoga class. We had like a double classroom, and it would be full to capacity. And then we would have a health talk after the lunch. So Thursdays was a special day. We were looking forward to it. And I think there was some talk about having another day before COVID came along. We were talking with India Home about, having, since it was such a popular and that everybody wanted to come, that we would offer another day in the week. So we're hoping that will happen, down the road. But we have a collaboration. We celebrate Diwali we celebrate India's Independence Day, and we learned all that from our South Asian members. And when they joined, they talked about Diwali. We have on our advisory council, we have one member from India Home who represents their interests and is involved, is a go-between her name is Usha Shah. We love her, and she also represents us when we have social action meetings. She goes to City Hall with her husband. So we are we have been culturally enriched by India Home, and they celebrate our holidays. The last holiday we celebrated before COVID struck was Valentine's Day. We had a great party together on Thursday with India Home, and we were singing, everybody sang different love songs, and it's just, we love to collaborate with our South Asian neighbors. So we're hoping to get back to that. Right now we're doing Zoom classes, but nowhere near, what we were doing before.
Oh, that's phenomenal. That is so sweet that you guys are interacting with all these and you guys have a specific day of the week. So now that Valentine's is actually coming up, how are you guys doing this more in line? Like, how are you guys making sure that the elders are involved and keeping up with these services? Sylvie or Shriana?
Yeah, I can speak a little bit about how, when we're looking at the digital divide, when we're talking about older adults, oftentimes it's the population that is highly susceptible to facing this digital divide and not being able to have the digital literacy. So that was a big portion of the past couple of months, is training and providing that, being able to walk through the steps on how to access Zoom programming. So if we're looking at Valentine's Day this year, I'm sure we'll have a virtual program and it'll be highly engaged and attended by our seniors, because we've trained them essentially to be able to take part in these virtual programs. So for us too, virtual programs has been a really big part of what we've been doing and how we've pivoted, especially, training the seniors and being able to provide the different classes and language. So we're continuing to maintain that cultural competency as we move forward. And to answer your earlier question, home delivered meals and home delivered groceries has been a big part of what we've been doing. We've provided on a weekly basis, more than 100 seniors are receiving meals, and up till now, over 500 seniors have received grocery packages as well. And these are all culturally competent. We're trying to enrich seniors' lives, as much as possible, while encouraging them to stay at home, which is the safest way for us to be able to get through this pandemic together.
I want to switch gears just a little bit. I know this past month took a mental toll, all of us, but especially the senior population. Do you do special classes or any events, or do you have somebody who helps with that?
So I can answer to that. Like we do have special classes. Like we have, like, socialization hour is one of the very important class that we are offering for our seniors. Like in that socialization classes, like the seniors are just come, like we don't have any specific topic to discuss. We just keep the floor open for all the fellow members so that they can speak with each other. They can share what they are feeling, because like they have been in the home for such a long time and they're not seeing their peers right at this moment. So they need to talk, right? So that's one of the day we are offering the socialization hour. And we do have, like, every other Fridays, we do have like mental health group sessions where like our social worker, like they have some specific topic they can discuss with our seniors. They can like, like speak openly. Sometimes like they are not feeling comfortable. So we keep that space open for them. And also we have like the special classes, like health and wellness talk that, like in the COVID situation, like new informations are coming on. So they don't know like what's going on. So we do have our like health educator in-house. So he basically provided all health related informations to our seniors. And we do have like the test and trace group, like who works, like we are working with New York City Health and Hospitals and Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. So we are offering like the informations to them. Our outreach teams are coming on, our consultant himself is coming on. So we are offering different topics. And besides that, like we do have different fun activities, like, like spiritual talk, mental health talk, health related talk, so that like what they used to do in the centers, they're doing it currently from their home. And like the best part is like some of our seniors, they're living with their family members. So their family members also been involved in these lectures and sessions, and they are making themselves enriched with the informations that we have been providing.
Sharanya, something you said intrigued me, that you were preparing meals that are culturally compatible. And I imagine certain seniors have certain dietary needs as well. How do you prepare these meals? Is there some sort of a case management system that keeps track of people's needs?
Yeah, so the South Asian community, it's such a big umbrella term. We're a very diverse community. And with that also comes very diverse dietary restrictions. So we really looked at the needs of our seniors, and the biggest need was to provide halal meals specifically. And so we work with a caterer who is cognizant of these cultural elements too. It's not just halal meals. There's the specific way and the type of cooking that is familiar to the seniors, and that they will be enjoying eating, and then also that will be nutritious and healthy, and given the issues that they're prone to facing in this specific group, diabetes and high blood pressure. So keeping all of these things in mind, we're working with a caterer who understands the nutritious needs and also the cultural needs. And we do also have, prior to doing the home delivered meals, we did have some seniors who were at Kew Gardens and also at Sunnyside, we were providing vegetarian meals. And also there's different types of vegetarian guidelines, like Hindu vegetarian and Jain vegetarian. So we were really tailoring our meals accordingly. So that is definitely a part that we're cognizant about when we're doing our services.
So if I may just interject, as far as the mental health goes, we have set up some mental health classes, but we find a lot of people were not attending to it, at least earlier on, maybe now more so. But I and all the social workers have been making wellness calls, calling our members and asking them about food and whether they need food delivered, if they need help getting to the doctor, what their concerns are. And we are doing these wellness checks. Now we're also doing vaccine, trying to help people sign up for vaccine. So one-on-one, we're doing more wellness checks and referring them for mental health services like Project CAPE. There are a lot of services available, through the phone, through Zoom. So they don't actually go anywhere, but they can get mental health counseling one-on-one. But I found when I set up a lecture on mental health, nobody came but me to the lecture. So, I mean, maybe now that things have been time, they've been having more accumulative time. Social isolation, I would say, is the most, the most difficult to deal with, because older people like to socialize. We all do. And I know that some of them have been singing on the phone to each other, because we have a chorus, but chorus is in meeting now. So they will call each other and sing together on the phone. They're trying to find ways to connect with each other and combat the isolation.
Speaking of the isolation and aged people, you have a friendly visiting program. Can you describe that for us?
Okay, yes. So we have a volunteer department at QCH that trains volunteers before COVID, to go and visit, do friendly visiting. But of course, now there is no in-house friendly visiting. It's mainly phone calls. So I have members that call other members on the phone once a week. So they have like a friendly visit on, a chat on the phone. And so that's, one thing that we're doing. It's not the same as a visit, but we have to be careful with, the COVID restrictions. I also want to mention that we have a weekly chat, and people can just come at Mondays at 4 and talk about whatever's on their mind. As Sylvia was mentioning, that's, important to people. Just, can talk about their concerns, whether it's about the election, there's so much to talk about that, we don't run out of, things to talk about. But that's open-ended every Monday. We started that, one of our members suggested it, and we just went with it.
And do you see the center ever going back to the ways it was pre-COVID? Sylvia, maybe you, and then we'll take other guests.
So, in this COVID situation, while we are maintaining social distancing, so I really cannot say, yes, we are able to go back to the previous time, because it needs a lot of, restrictions, and we really need help from the government to go back with the previous setting, because, in all these centers, like if I'm gonna talk about our biggest center, we have more than 100 participants on the center days. So if in that situation we have to go back, we cannot accommodate this 100 people at the same time. For like 6 feet distance maintaining, we maximum can accommodate like 25 to 30 people. So then we have to think in a different way how we can accommodate these 100 people, and then how government can help us. Because currently we are offering services for 3 days in that center, right? If just 30 people are coming in, then maybe we have to keep our centers open for 7 days. So one batch can come one day, the other batch can come other days. So a lot of decision we need to make, and government needs to be involved very actively in this situation. So that's one of the situation. But as we are working with the vulnerable community, so unless we are pretty sure that yes, it's absolutely safe that they can come, then we can start. Otherwise, I don't think like there is any opportunity coming up that we can go back to the previous time. But we'd love to continue the new service that we have started providing, because what happened, while in the previous time in the centers we have specific seniors like 200, 250 seniors used to come. But in this COVID situation, while we involve seniors in the virtually, like we even got to involve even more seniors in this services, like 500 seniors, more than 500 seniors are joining in all our different sessions. And one thing I absolutely forgot to mention, that service that we are offering is the case management service, because we provide the services in languages. And it's not only open for like who speaks South Asian language or other, like anyone who's 60 and above can get the services from us. And also we do the HICAP counseling besides the regular case management services, like what Raquel mentioned, like the wellness checkup calls, entitled with them to the benefit entitlements, citizenship classes, citizenship preparations, information referrals. So these are the basic services we are providing through case management.
And if seniors are watching and they want to join some of the classes, where they can find you?
So if any seniors wants to join, then they can email us, email to me or our info email. The info email is info@indiahome.org, or they can email me, Sylvia@indiahome.org. So they can email us, let us know they are interested, that we can like share the Zoom link, and they definitely would like to do the intake first, and then we will share the Zoom link and they can join us.
And as far as, and I'm sorry, if anyone has any further, questions that I haven't answered, they can contact Nicole Vaughn Robinson. The number is 929-431-4297. They can also email me, Epstein, REPSTEIN @QCHNYC.org. I just want to mention one center that I left out inadvertently, and that was Jackson Heights. We have a center for gay elderly, and they have been in, they're located in Jackson Heights, in the Jackson Heights Jewish Center, before COVID. So that's the 5th center that I left out.
Okay. John?
Oh, just wondering if people wanted to volunteer to help you or to make contributions to your program, how might they do that? Raquel?
Well, I think if they send me an email, I would welcome volunteers. I think a volunteer really, gets a lot out of, giving and getting. It's a two-way street. If someone has technology know-how, we would like to train our members or show them how to use technology, how to get on the Zoom. So that's another way they could help us. And whatever skill they have, if they want to teach a language class, we could do anything from their home. Now that they don't have to come to the center, they can work from their home. So we'd like to offer language classes, whatever, French,
We
Spanish.
have 1 minute left. I'll have to interrupt.
Sylvia?
Yes.
Maybe Sylvia can tell us how they can accept volunteers or contributions.
If they would like to volunteer with our organization, they can email at info@indiahome.org, or they can email me directly, which is Sylvia@org. And we have wellness checkup calls. If anyone is interested, they can just volunteer in this portion. We do test and trace outreach. If they wanted to do the outreach with our outreach team, they are more than welcome to join in. And also, if anyone interested in our home delivered meal services and the grocery deliveries to our seniors' home, they are welcome to join in to us. So
and we have to end it here.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much for all the guests. Thank you, and thanks for the viewers. So we'll see you next time on Queen's Conversations. Bye from us.
Thank you.